All right, what's up, tycoons? What is up, traders? Super excited for today's video. Going to give you guys an update on Quant. We're going to be taking a look at the daily chart here. And what we're doing is we're actually going to go ahead and I'm going to give you guys some realistic expectations for 2023. So make sure to smash the like button and subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. If you're not new, go ahead and comment down below, bullish or bearish, and let me know what your opinion is on on Quant QNT in the future. And what do you think 2023 really has in store for Quant? Okay. So we're going to go ahead, and before we actually take a look at this chart, there's something very, very important that I want everyone to see. This is the Wall Street cheat sheet psychology of a market cycle. Okay. And so what this does is this go ahead and this shows you all of the different cycles that there is and the psychology behind it. Now, it's no secret that we're definitely in this phase over here. It's been a brutal crypto winter and bear market. But let's go over this, right? So it starts with disbelief. Okay. You start with a disbelief rally, then you get some hope, you get optimism, you get belief, thrill, and euphoria. So let's go ahead and go back to our quant chart, and we can see clearly that we have went ahead and had our euphoria phase, right? We had disbelief over here, then we got some hope, then we got some optimism, then we got belief, then we got thrill, and then ultimately we came up here and hit our euphoria prices. Now we'll pay attention to the downward cycle next, right? And so there's multiple phases of this. If you take a look, the first down phase is complacency. This is where people, and psychology has a huge part to do with trading and investing. This is the complacency phase. This is where we just need to cool off for the next rally, right? And so if we take a look at how well that lines up, right? We have this euphoria phase right here, and then we get a lot of complacency, right? It's not really dropping dramatically and heading in a huge straight line down. We have this initial big drop down, and then we just consolidate, and it's going very complacent, right? The next phase is going to be anxiety. And so you see right here, we have anxiety. This is when people are saying, why am I getting margin called? This is a great example of what happened with Three Arrows Capital, right? And, the collapse of exchanges like BlockFi, right? A lot of people were just stuck in this euphoria phase, and they were thinking, I am a genius. We're all going to be rich. This is literally the definition of the euphoria phase. And so you have these brokerages and you have these massive firms like Three Arrows Capital just taking on insane amounts of risk and using insane amounts of leverage in this euphoria and complacency phase, right? So, the euphoria phase ends, then they go into complacency, and Three Arrows Capital is doubling down, right? They're coming in here and they're doubling down, saying, we just need to cool off for the next rally. And then boom, they get margin called, right? And the next phase after anxiety is going to be denial, right? And this is where people are denying the fact that we're in such a sharp move to the downside. It says, my investments are with great companies, great projects, great tokens. They will come back, right? And if we take a look again at the chart for Quant, we can see that after we get our complacency phase, we get a sharp drop, we get that anxiety, okay? And then we create a new low. And this is the denial phase right here. This is denial. So people are just denying. They're saying, hey, Quant is a great token. It's got, it actually has some value to it. And this thing is going to recover soon and start heading back towards some of those all-time highs. Now, the next phase afterwards is going to be panic, capitulation, and anger. So this is where I think we're currently at right now. I think we're somewhere in between panic, capitulation, and anger, and then we're going to head towards the depression phase, guys. So panic is everyone's selling. I need to get out. Capitulation. We've seen multiple capitulations in the market already. I gave you guys that example of Three Arrows Capital. Then you have FTX collapsing, right? Those are major liquidations happening, right, and causing capitulations in the market. Bitcoin is just down massive. All of these coins are down massive from their all-time highs, right? From those euphoria highs. So right now, it's hard to tell where, but we're somewhere in between panic, capitulation, and anger. All right. So, you basically just have to live with that and realize that right now. Now, the thing I want to highlight is how long these phases can really take, okay? The longest phase is actually going to be the phase heading into depression. So there's a very strong likelihood that, Quant could be trading sideways. And when I say sideways, it can still range and trade in a very large range, right? We have lows down here of 44 and we have highs up here of 227. So it doesn't mean that there's not trading opportunities. There's always going to be opportunities to day trade, swing trade, but when it comes to setting some realistic expectations for 2023, you need to realize that, we're in a very rough phase right now, and 2023 is going to be very rough. And, I'd expect it to be very choppy, lots of ups and downs, but no really true progression to the upside. Now, with that being said, I do think that we will possibly get a bottom in 2023. As pretty much this entire year has been brutal, absolutely brutal. And it's been a very long phase. It could last longer than 2023 and extend into the future of 2024. But again, it's all a cycle and it all repeats itself. So we're somewhere stuck in between this phase. We're trying to head towards the depression phase. And again, look at how long this phase is compared to this phase right here and this phase right here. So, I expect 2023 to look something like this, very choppy, big swings, moves up, moves down, big swings up, and ultimately we'll start the cycle all back over with a disbelief rally. And no one's going to believe it, right? And so basically what that is eventually, Quant is going to go through here. It's going to trade sideways. It's going to look ugly. And then we're going to make some new highs, right? We're going to make a new high up here. And people are going to say, oh, hey, this is just another suckers rally, like all the suckers who bought up in here and then saw it massively dropped downwards afterwards. That's going to be the actual end and beginning of the cycle starting all over. Because take a look here and you can see that just as disbelief, where this is a suckers rally, look at where it starts. It starts here with disbelief. This rally will fail like all the others. And then you actually start to see some hope enter the market. Then you get optimism, belief, thrill, and euphoria, and the cycle starts again. But just notice that the shortest and quickest periods are, the rise up to euphoria and the drop down to capitulation and anger. The longest phase is when you have anger and depression in the market, and that's very heavy right now. Cryptocurrency sentiment is just through the floor, right? The floor fell out. Sam Brokeman-Fraud, right? Scam Brokeman-Fraud really just rug pulled everybody and stole lots of money. And there's a large amount of people that had their life savings, that had retirement accounts just completely stolen and wiped out. And there's a very good chance that those people are going to completely leave the cryptocurrency market altogether. But what you don't realize is that, more and more people are actually getting into crypto every day that passes by. And as time passes by, more and more institutions are adopting it. And these large institutional adoptions are going to be the gateway for these things to progress, right? When I say large institutions, I don't mean institutions like FTX or Three Arrows Capital. What I mean is T-Mobile, I mean Walmart, I mean Fidelity, right? I mean JP Morgan. Lots of these large institutions and banks, all of the ones that I named off, they're already in crypto. They're already massive investors in crypto. And so slowly and surely, more and more institutions are going to adopt it. And as they adopt it, more and more people are actually going to be using the blockchain and using these technologies without even realizing it, while you have newcomers, learning about the journey and really learning to want to learn how to trade, want to learn how to invest in cryptocurrency. And it will continue to grow as a whole, but you just have to have some realistic expectations that most likely 2023 is going to be a very bumpy ride. There's a potential we could put a bottom out here once we hit depression. If we hit that depression phase, that's going to be the market bottom, but no one's going to be able to time the bottom perfectly. And eventually we will get a disbelief rally, and that's going to be where everyone thinks it's a suckers rally and this rally will fail like the others, but it won't, and that'll actually spark hope, and we'll see the cycle begin again. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, smash the like button and subscribe to the channel. Really appreciate it if you do that. It helps the small channel grow. And I do viewer requests every single week. So if you want to see a more detailed technical analysis and you want me to break down some of the levels on your favorite crypto or ticker symbol, just let me know in the comments and I'll be happy to make a video on it as soon as I can.